Hi, and welcome back for another edition of Weird Wednesday. This is John, or Used Toy, wishing everybody a Happy New Year. How about you, Daryl, Suburban Hobo? Did you have a good New Year?
After two broke girls, I went to sleep last night. I haven't seen the ball drop at midnight in years, and I went to bed early. I slept till 8 o'clock this morning, got up. It's been a fabulous day. Went out for a cheeseburger, and aside from that, I've just been R&R.
Well, let me tell you, I've been a little rough today because the wife and I, we painted the town.
Really?
Yeah.
So she drinks too?
She drinks she can drink a lot.
I like Julie. She's the best.
All right. Well, we want to start 2013 with some really weird stories, and I hate to pick on Florida, but Dare, once you got this in my mind, it hasn't gone away.
We're newsmakers. Yes.
Jenny Scott, Florida woman, arrested for allegedly assaulting boyfriend over bad oral sex.
Again, we need a gauge, I'm thinking.
Police in Florida arrested an extremely intoxicated woman after she allegedly beat her boyfriend over bad oral sex. Apparently they were involved, and when police got there, after he had stopped pleasuring her, deputies responded to a report to find her beating and scratching her lover and threatening him with a stick and a wrench.
Was that part of the foreplay? That's one of those things ever since the first I had, even the worst I had was still pretty good.
You got anything today?
Yeah, well, sex sells, and up in Boston, I ran across this story. Actually, South Boston, that's where all the Irish people in Boston are. I spent some time up there in the late 70s working Cape Cod and Boston. I liked it a lot. But Trojan, you know who Trojans are. They make the condoms for the condom manufacturer. They gave away 10,000 vibrators in South Boston this past month. I know, you thought they only did condoms, right? Well, it was scheduled for earlier in the year. They wanted to do it in front of the city hall, but the city fathers, and I guess the city mothers too, decided that they didn't want an X-rated event in front of a family-friendly building or atmosphere. So they took the event to Southie. Now, South Boston, as I mentioned, is where all the Irish people live. There was a bar when I was working in the north end of Boston, which is where all the Italians are in the north end, all the Irish are in the south part. There was a bar that my friends and I used to go to, and it was called Huggers. And I went there one time. They had a hooker and pimp party, and this was so over the top. I'm digressing for a moment here, but the people were pulling up in pink Cadillacs and white Lincoln Continentals. The ladies were dressed to kill. The guys were all dressed as pimps in sharkskin suits and fedora stuff. And to show how tough they were, I've never seen this in any other bar anywhere else. These guys would take empty beer bottles and drink them over their heads. Not somebody else's head, their own heads. And this one guy, to outdo everybody else, he took one of those wooden chairs and he broke the chair over his head. Well, the chair seat splintered and it grabbed his nose and almost ripped his nose right off of his face. There was blood everywhere. These guys know how to party in South Boston, I'm telling you. But anyway, we're back to the story about Trojan giving away the vibrators. You really just can't make this up. The giveaway was a huge success. It was reported that some parents were actually dropping their kids off at the babysitter. Then they're heading off to get their free ticklers. So you go, baby.
Nice. Well, it's nice that Trojan is so socially conscious.
Socially something.
Well, back to Florida. Ashley Alewine and Nikhilya Wright arrested after pocket dialing the hotel they just robbed.
Is that like butt dialing? Is that what you mean? Pocket dialing? Yeah,
Absolutely.
butt dialing? Okay.
You know, everybody's done it, but the two sisters inadvertently dialed the hotel in Naples, Florida, that they allegedly had just robbed. The robbery happened in November, but basically the woman walked in wearing a gray sweatshirt, gray sweatpants, sunglasses, and a black bandana, holds the place up, and then is driving away with her sister, who had just been fired from the hotel 2 days earlier. And while the clerk is on the phone with the police, she butt dials and is explaining the robbery. And so the clerk answers the phone and is like, well, I've got the people right here that are actually on the phone. So they've got the whole thing, and so the two were arrested.
Oh, that's so sad. Well, you know, John, we seem to keep spiraling downwards from time to time into this bestiality thing. And I don't, after the guy with the donkey, he was trying to doodle. I don't think we'll ever top that one, actually. But I do have a couple of pet stories I want to touch on. Clemson, it's a big college football weekend, and Clemson's probably playing somebody. But there was a student at Clemson who was studying ways to make it safer for turtles to cross the road. He was having difficulties. He was upset and all this. So what he did is he got this really lifelike, realistic turtle, and he went outside down the road a little bit from one of the dorms, and he put the turtle in the road to see if people would try to avoid the turtle. Within an hour, 7 people went out of their way to run over the turtle.
Wow.
And then there were several other cars who went out of their way but missed the turtle. So then he went into a classroom. There were 110 students in this classroom, and he asked the question, show of hands, has anyone ever intentionally hit a turtle on the road or been in a car with someone else driving who intentionally hit a turtle crossing the road? 34 out of the 110 students raised their hands, and they said that approximately 2/3 of those who raised their hands were male. So I'm thinking that this is a bad sign, and turtles need to get like an extra protective shell or body armor or something if they're going to try to cross the road. So that's one of my stories I thought was pretty weird. People going out of their way. Now they understand that snakes cross the road also, but nobody cares if you hit a snake because everybody hates snakes. But turtles they're so cute.
Are you a turtle?
You bet your sweet ass I am.
Grandma would be proud.
Haven't heard that one in a long time. So my second story here, this is Dateline Philadelphia, where a man was caught on a surveillance camera. He was juggling kittens in a Chinese restaurant.
Do you remember the movie The Jerk, the old cat juggling?
No, I've seen The Jerk, but no, I don't remember that. But that's pretty cool. This guy, he pleaded guilty to 4 counts of animal cruelty. So he actually got 2 years of probation. But he was arrested because police went in. They were investigating a shooting at the Red Star Chinese Out restaurant, and they said they found a video of Chen, who owned the restaurant at the time, abusing the cats. They say this is not neglect, it's malicious. He was intending on purposely hurting and torturing these kittens. He was rolling them around on the floor. He was swinging them in circles on the ground. And they say that they were actually, the investigators were only able to rescue the mother cat and 2 of the kittens. So he allegedly has to pay about $44 a month in penalties. It reminded me of the old song by Harry Chapin. Remember that? There's a cat in the kettle at the Peking moon, the place I eat every day at noon.
That is wonderful. Well, this is a great one for the holidays. We certainly hope everybody had a safe New Year's and didn't drink and drive. But in Oklahoma, Thomasine Harho, arrested for alleged DUI, says she can't be arrested because of she's got to be in court for her DUI case.
Wait for it.
So after allegedly barreling through a scene of a fatal accident, Thomasine Harhoe came up with a whopper of an excuse why she shouldn't be charged with driving under the influence, according to Huffington Post. She drove through police tape into a crime scene, narrowly avoiding hitting an officer who had to lunge out of the way. Police detected alcohol on her breath. She said, "Well, I can't. You can't take me to jail. I have a court appearance in the morning for DUI."
That's like the lady, the cop pulls her husband over while he's driving, and she says, "Don't argue with my husband when he's drunk." Take it home, John.
Well, we hope everybody had a great New Year's. We're looking forward to big things here in 2013. So come back and visit us often here at baloneybrain.com and tell your friends. We'll see you soon.
Happy New Year.